Hi, my name is Judge. Recent nerfs in the latest patch notes. That's patch 24.4.3. And I'm going to tell you here what this means for the mode of Arena, how these cards that have been nerfed are going to be affected. Are they going to be unplayable? Are they going to still be great? How much are you going to want to draft these cards after the nerf? Let's take a look at what we've got, starting with Harpoon Gun. 3 mana, 3/2. After your hero attacks, dredge. If it's a beast, reduce its cost by 3. Really, really good with 7-cost beasts. You can play a 4 on curve, which is awesome. So Mountain Bear, really, really cool. So this goes back down to 2. This weapon was already extremely strong when it was printed at 2, the way it was actually released. And it will still remain very, very strong. I feel like this one especially is one that people are going to be like, oh, you know, it was not really played at all and constructed, and then it was buffed, and all of a sudden Beast Hunter became a thing, so it must not be good at dredge, you know, reduce its cost by 2. But that's not true at all. It's really just because Hunter didn't have the beast package to really make this weapon work in the particular meta. So this weapon was always good. Even in constructed, in the right metas, this weapon is good at 2. It's just that it didn't really quite work. So I think there's going to be misconception from some constructed players about, oh, there's a Harpoon Gun, it was nerfed, it's probably not that good. The card's going to be amazing in Arena. It was before, it continued to be amazing at 3, and it's still going to be amazing at 2. So continue to draft this card. It's still one of the best weapons you're going to find. The only big downside is like when Mountain Bear's in, you don't get to play it on turn 4, but in Arena, if you're playing it on turn 5, you're still probably going to win. Next change we have isn't exactly to a card, but to a series of cards, and those are the Wildseeds, because we have more Wildseed nerfs. 2 of them this time, so the cards... Oh man, I should have written... Why don't I write this down? I could have this on a list in front of me. I'm going to do it live. I've got Poacher. I've got Stag Charge. I've got Wild Spirits, and I've got Arelon. There's only 4, right? Easy. Those 4 cards are going to be affected by these changes, and these changes are to Bear Spirit Wildseed, which is going from a 2-mana 2/5 taunt to a 2-mana 2/4 taunt, and to Stag Spirit Wildseed, which is going from a 3-mana 5/4 equip a 3/2 weapon to a 3-mana 4/3. So when I first saw these changes, I kind of thought a little bit of the same thing as when the weapon went from 4/2 to 3/2, and that's it's still so many stats. It's just never going to matter until it's a fair amount of stats. And to an extent, I still feel that way. But these are some really relevant stat points that we're hitting. The idea of the 2/4 versus a 2/5, you've got a lot of rushes that have 4 attack that are going to be able to clear this. Fishy Flyer cleans this up clearly, which is when it's in a very popular Arena card. Same thing with Stag Spirit Wildseed. You get into Knight Captain range. You get into even just like Holy Smite range. A lot of stuff that deals 3 damage over 4. So even though it's not like a ton of stats being lost, and the cards are still going to be really good, I think these are some actually very, very relevant changes. So, you know, you're still getting... Wild Spirits is still going to be insane, just because it's so many stats for 3 mana. But they've become more beatable, which is big. And finally, the last card being changed in this small patch is none other than Theotar, the Mad Duke. I thought I'd touch on this because obviously, you know, huge news for Constructed being changed. Theotar is a big talked about card. A lot of people saying it's the most toxic card. It's compared to Mind Render from other metas. And others saying, well, we have so many crazy cards out there that we want to interact with. We want combo breakers. So maybe this is good. So a lot of conversation around this card in Constructed. But it's still, at 4 mana, it was very... I thought it was very solid in Arena. Like, it's not nearly as good in Constructed because sometimes you're just trading cards that are roughly the same caliber, and then a 4-mana 3/3 sucks. Usually you can get a slight advantage on the trade, or you can make a trade at an opportune time, maybe when your opponent's discovered a dragon, and so it's nice, but it's a lot more risky, because in Constructed, you know there's a win condition in there, you know there's a synergistic card in there, you just have to find it. But that's not always true in Arena. So this nerf, from 4 mana to 5 mana, even though some Constructed players are saying like, nah, I don't know if it'll do as much as we want, maybe it needs to go to 6 in Constructed, and maybe that's true there. This card is a big nerf for Arena. It goes from like, yeah, this could be solid, I'll pick it up, to I don't think it's worth 5 mana. I don't think it's worth 5 mana to do this effect. It might be cool to discover when your opponent has a premium card. You can high roll it. But I think this will go from being like average to above average in Arena, and maybe in the hands of good players, good, to it's bad. 5 mana is not worth it. 4 mana it was, 5 mana is not. So much different than Constructed, but still a very critical. I mean, I've been hit by no less than a dozen Theotars, and I've complained about it on stream a few times, like, what is this card and stuff, but obviously much tamer in Arena. I think it's going to be a big relevant change. I don't think we're going to see much of this card in Arena anymore. I would stay away from Theotar, the Mad Duke, at 5 mana. So just a few changes, but I think a lot of people look at them in Constructed, look at these changes and go, oh, nerfed card, can't draft it. That's not always true. So I thought I'd give my 2 cents here. That's what I think about these changes. I think these are good changes for the game all around, Arena and Constructed. Big, nice nerfs. Maybe Theotar goes to 6 after a bit, but I'm a big fan. So that's what I got to say about these cards. If you agree with me, give me that thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below. And if you disagree with me, come on, still give me that thumbs up. You know what I mean? And also let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well, and I will see you in the next video.